Ba-na-na-na. Hey, welcome to LK's Wrestling Review. I am special guest host for 5 seconds, introduction guy. I'm like the guy on the talk shows that just introduces the big star. And coming up next, LK's Wrestling Reviews. I would be joining LK for this, but I was at the doctor's and only saw the last match. From what I saw, it looked awesome, but looking forward to it. And this is actually my vacation time, but I figured, I'd introduce LK. I'm not even supposed to be here today. What's up, LK?
Oh, how are you? Obviously, you're not exactly in the best shape of your life. You're at the damn doctors every time we have these damn podcasts. You need to really sort your act together, Mr. Dave Coco. Every time we come in here, it's a sob story. I'm dying. Right, how about this? You sort your health out, you don't die, and then you come back and live forever, yeah?
Sounds good. Well, I go with, thanks to denial, I'll live forever. And I found out, scientifically speaking, that doesn't work. No, I'm taking my family on vacation, and I have to this sounds embarrassing, but to leave for long periods of time from my house, I actually need doctor's permission. And they give it. And the best part is, I think like a week ago, I was like, dude, I'm cured. I don't need to do this anymore. And as I was saying that, my nose started bleeding. And they're like, Dave, can you not be bleeding from your nose when you say everything's fine? I'm like, Doc, don't worry about it. But I did get cleared to leave to go to the beach. So I'm taking my family to the beach. So I'm on vacation time here, baby. All right. So I guess we'll live comments down below. LK will try to get to all of them. When I get back from vacation, I'll break this down more. We'll have to have a war room where we do everything. I'm trying to rig up where I'll do shows while I'm gone. But I don't know if that's going to work out. And as always, we ask win, loss, or tie. So, LK, I'm going to hot tag you, and I'm going to disappear, and it's going to be your show. So I hope you do a good job. No pressure. No pressure. LK, win, loss, or tie. What did you think? And I'm going to be running the board like this. La, 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 la. No spoilers. All right. I'll see you soon. Okay, it's on you.
Well, again, win, loss, or tie in the comment section. I give it a weak win. Okay, there was some very, very good stuff on this show. However, there was still some bad stuff on this show. And I'll get to the bad. People on social media, from what I've seen just after this show's airing, is, it's the best takeover ever. 9, 10 out of 10. It's not 10 out of 10. There was some weak stuff earlier on the show. So let's get to it. So we start off with Triple H in the ring. He goes on to say that NXT is a revolution. And then the lights come on. And then you get the sold-out Barclays Center exploding. And it was an explosion. General goosebumps went up my arm. I've never experienced heard a reaction like that. And the building itself is beautiful. I am a big fan of the whole billboards up and above and at the side. They made the place look nice. I was kind of worried at one point before the show that it would have looked like Raw. They were going to use the Raw set. They would use the pay-per-view set. And I was worried, oh, God, this is going to look like a pay-per-view knockoff. But it wasn't. They had their own set. It looked very good. It looked professional. So that being said, we'll get down to our first match, which was Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger. The crowd was still electric. Liger, obviously, first appearance in WWE ever. He's been to WCW and obviously great career over in New Japan. 11-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. That's fucking unbelievable. So he starts off and he basically comes out. This was a comedic match. It was a comedic, serious match. If you're into comedy wrestling, this was for you. I give it props because it's Liger. If it wasn't for Liger being there and being his debut in the WWE ring, I probably wouldn't have rated it very high. So Liger did Tyler Breeze's pose in the turnbuckle for a big pop, and the crowd, apart from one match, they were pretty hot for everything. Liger then did his vintage modified surfboard stretch in the bow and arrow lock. Liger then poses with the selfie stick. Breeze hit a nice backbreaker, crucifix bomb for 2. Liger hits the vintage running flip off the apron. And then Liger got the win with the Liger bomb at 3, which very shocked me. I was expecting a Tyler Breeze win here. But then again, obviously, if NXT wants to continue the working relationship with New Japan that they currently have at the moment, it makes sense to put Liger over. Possibly have Tyler Breeze maybe next night in NXT have an attack on Jushin Liger and then continue this feud. I'm not sure if Liger will stay there, but it was a feel-good moment. Like, it was a very, very good feel-good moment watching Liger in the ring. And then after he posed, the fans were very respectful, which was, again, a worry because the NXT crowd at the Full Sail University is just a bunch of drunken hippos. I am not a fan of the Full Sail crowd. I was a fan of this crowd, though. This crowd was respectful. They popped when they were meant to pop. They booed when they were meant to boo. They chanted, "This is awesome," when they were meant to cheer it. And it was just a good crowd, good atmosphere, very electric, and I'm a big fan of it. This match, if you go, I go by the star rating system. So I give it a 1.5 stars, 1.75. As a match, it was nothing special. But it was Jushin Liger. Like, come on. The match could have been a 2-minute squash, and it still would have got the same rating because it's Jushin Thunder Liger. So that was kind of the weakest point of the show. We'll go on to our first title match. You have the NXT Tag Team titles on the line. We have the Vaudevillains, which is Simon Gotch and Aiden English. They were facing off against Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, who are the champions. Warning. If you suffer from strobe lighting effects, please look away during the entrance. Jesus wept. I was sat there and the entrance came on and all the lights. Usually at the full scale, it usually hurts. This was not hurtful. It was blinding. And the camera was spinning up and down. The hard camera was moving. Oh my God, it was a bona fide clusterfuck. It hurt like I'm sat there just going like that. It really is painful. Am I the only one who has this problem? My eyes really that bad that Blake and Murphy's entrance hurts. And another thing, Wesley Blake, dude, what is up with his hair? I mean, he came out, he was wearing Speedos. That was firstly the shock. I was like, okay. Then he had this bright blonde hair. I'm thinking, okay, is he trying to look like Alexa Bliss? And then he has earrings. I'm like, oh my good Lord. Like, if that's your cup of tea, good for you, buddy. But it looked a bit strange. He came out with some pretty weird gimmicks going on, but that's neither here or there. Bliss, I like her mannerisms. I'm a big fan of her mannerisms, but I wish she was a wrestler. I mean, I like the Valet versus Valet, and the Valet for the Vaudevillains, which they teased, was Blue Pants, and probably got one of the biggest pops of the night when she came out. I mean, the crowd went absolutely ballistic when the started going. They really went mad. It was an okay match. Tag title was just, NXT is, you've got loads of tag teams. There's no emotional investment. Like, you care about Amore and Cassidy. What is Wesley Blake and Murphy's gimmick? Like, for real, drop in the comment, what is their gimmick? They don't have one. They're just guys who wear bright tights and their entrance blinds people. That's their gimmick. I mean, you've got Jason Jordan and Gable, amateur wrestlers. You've got Dawkins and Fulton, one of them, who is the exact same gimmick as Jason Jordan and Gable. And that's about it. You've got the Hyper Bros who don't deserve to be employed, let alone be in NXT. I think that's really it for your tag division. I mean, WWE Tag Team division doesn't have as many teams, but the teams they have I do prefer, minus the Ascension. The match was okay. I mean, there was a blue pants city chant, which is very, very amusing. Gotch hit some incredible transitions into some cross-arm breakers. Gotch got the hot tag. He hit a double powerbomb off the top. English then hit a swanton bomb for 2 and a very good near fall. Bliss then got Blue Pants beat on Bliss. Damn it to God. Sorry, it's very late over. We're just literally straight 5-0. It's very late. I do apologize. Catching up on the overnights. Gotch then hit the uppercut to the back, and then English hit the running neck breaker to get the win. So you have the new NXT Tag Team Champions of the Vaudevillains. You know, I was happy for the Vaudevillains because the Vaudevillains have been in NXT for a very, very, very long time. The thing is, English has been there since 2013. My first memory of Aiden English in NXT was his match with Rob Van Dam in a singles action, which was very good. Definitely, if you're ever on the network and you just want to watch a random match, type that in. Really, really underrated match. This match was good. I like how they made the win important. Like, they really celebrated like it meant a lot. I mean, they've been a team for about a year and a half now. So it's good to see them finally get the win. As it is in Brooklyn, would it have made more sense, though, to have Amore and Cassidy in this position? That way you could have had Carmella and Bliss do the beatdown on the outside for the pop, and then you could have had the hot finish. It's just, to me, it was like, okay, we did this match for Blue Pants. Like, that was the only reason we did this match. No, Leather Bates, I have no problem with her at all in any way, shape, or form. She's a very, very good pro wrestler. For a female, I don't mean that. Like, she's a very, very good pro wrestler. And it's good, you know, when these wrestlers came out for the majority of the show, what I really, really liked was that they kind of took a second and they kind of just, you know, had to look around like in the Barclays Center. Like, they are there in front of 16,000 people. They really soaked it in. You could see lots of them were emotional. I mean, Uhaa Nation, which I'll get onto later, was very emotional. Blake just looked like a toy. I'm sorry. Blake looked like an absolute Nimrod. Please sort it out, please. I'm going to refresh quickly to see if we got any live comments before we get on to the next match. Star rating-wise, 2 stars, 2.25. Nothing bad, just nothing memorable. Like, if I try to remember this next week, I won't remember this match at all. In all due respect, I won't remember it. Comments are disabled. I can't believe I just read that. That I feel really bad now. Comments are disabled during live broadcasts. I do apologize. Oh, unbelievable. Oh, Jesus Christ. We'll go to the next match of the perfect 10 Ty Dillinger versus Apollo Crews, which is Uhaa Nation. Or a quick Twitter shout out to @Joe Comedy for liking and tweeting us. Much love. Hope you enjoyed the show. It'll probably be a lot quicker than what Dave Coco usually does because I'm here at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm here taking a beating for the team, and I just want to get an NXT podcast out of there. So hopefully aim to finish in about 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes, hopefully get this done. And it's Google, it has a big issue with KocoSports. I don't know what it is, but Google for some reason have blocked the comments. I hope this is just a live issue. If it is a live issue, make sure you save all your comments and drop them off at the end. If it isn't a live issue, if it's just my computer or my YouTube being wrong, it's just, I don't know why. Maybe Google think I'm hijacking the channel, and I don't know. I honestly don't know, and it's really bad, and I do apologize for that. Again, I was kind of worried heading into this one. I was meant to mention it on the War Room where we previewed the NXT TakeOver show, but I was very upset that they promoted Ty Dillinger to the point where he beat Solomon Crowe, and Solomon Crowe was one of their big signings, even though you wouldn't have known that if you just based it on his NXT appearances. But, they gave him the win. And I was like, okay. And then Ty Dillinger came out. He got a decent pop, which shocked me. In all due respect, it shocked me. He came out. He did the 10 gimmick. And he's even got the 10 graded in the back of his head. That's dedication to your goddamn gimmick. And I'm happy now that he's finally got a damn gimmick. Because, half these NXT let's call it a spade a spade. Sami Zayn, what's his gimmick? There isn't one. Kevin Owens, what's his gimmick? Okay. Apollo Crews, what's his gimmick? Oh, Jesus Christ. We got a live comment from Rico from Facebook. Where is Coco? ? And I read Kana from Japan was there. Is it true? Yes, Kana was there from Japan. They did a shot all night. There was loads of wrestlers who were ringside. They had Rollins and his girlfriend. They had Team Bad. Then it was Ric Flair, some guy, and Kana, and the commentators even pointed out that's Kana. She's a very famous international pro wrestler from Japan. So that was very shocking, actually. But yeah, thank you for the comment there. And Dave Coco, he's on vacation. I do apologize. Mr. David Kokotis was not on here, but he'll probably make up for it on the War Room review. So let's get to this match. Dillinger, stands there for a few seconds, as I mentioned earlier, just really soaking in the atmosphere. And you could see in his eyes, he was teary. Like, he went from the Full Sail University competing in front of a couple of hundred Nimrods to now being in front of 16,000 passionate fans. I mean, that's a life goal completed. I mean, even though he did the job here, he did the favors, the guy still got to compete inside that building. There's lots of independent wrestlers out now who would have killed to be in Ty Dillinger's spot. And I hope that he doesn't, Ty Dillinger I'm talking about now, I hope he doesn't go back to where he was before, and that's just being the enhancement guy. On my channel, I've dubbed him the nickname Ty Enhancement Dillinger. I really pray that this is not what he comes back to. I really like this gimmick, and I hope he progresses, and I hope he keeps on getting the response. I mean, it's just amusing stuff. I mean, when it starts off, he does, the roll and the 10, and it was just very entertaining. I mean, Crews goes for a springboard early on, and Ty hit a beautiful dropkick in midair. Dillinger then hit a nice super kick for 2. Crews then hit a gorilla press and a standing moonsault to get the win. I was kind of disappointed with that. Like, when he hit the gorilla press, then hit the standing moonsault, I was like, okay, standing shooting star, go. And he didn't hit it. I was just like, okay, is that your finisher? Is a standing moonsault your finisher? Okay. And what's your gimmick? While you're there, what's your gimmick? Yeah. No, NXT isn't as good as people say it is. If you disagree with me in the comments, that's your opinion, and you're valid to your opinion. It's just my opinion is there is no good characters left in pro wrestling, and it upsets me. Like, there is no, like, at least Ty Dillinger has a gimmick. Apollo Crews came out to some okay music, and he just walked to the ring like, yeah, I'm Apollo Crews, I'm Uhaa Nation, I'm happy to be here. Like, that's it. Like, what's your gimmick? What's Sami Zayn's gimmick? Damn, where's these gimmicks gone? I mean, Tyler Breeze is probably the best character that NXT has to offer, in my opinion. Looking up and down this card, Sasha Banks and Tyler Breeze would probably share the best characters that NXT has to offer. And this isn't a dig at NXT person. I think it's a dig at pro wrestling as a whole. Like, there is no characters. I mean, for instance, you could look up and down the greats of the independent circuit right now. You got Johnny Gargano. What's his gimmick? Okay, you've got Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, he's a psychopath. I'll let Tommaso Ciampa have that. Okay, you got Jay Lethal. What is his gimmick? Roderick Strong. Everyone loves Roderick Strong. What's his gimmick? It's just guys in trunks and boots and arm pads and knee pads going out wrestling. There's no. I don't know what. It's really been bothering me the past few weeks. It's really grinded my gears. It's got under my skin, and I don't know why. But I'm happy for Cruz. Obviously debuting. Obviously, probably the highlight of his career so far, performing in the Barclays Center, I think that the gimmick's called. It's just, I'm also happy that Dillinger wasn't completely squashed. I really was worried that he was going to get the enhancement treatment, but he didn't. Good debut. Okay match. No, I was expecting more. That could have been my problem. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Uhaa Nation, so going into this, I'm expecting, this is going to be amazing. And then you think, well, wait a minute, it's going to be a squash. But at the same time, I was expecting more. And well, it's so hard to rate. Please, in the comments, if you were to give a rating out of 5 for just that match, I always think squash matches are hard to rate. It was not a squash match by any shape or form. I kind of give it like a 1.5 stars generally. That's about it, really, to be perfectly honest. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is from YouTube. Go to live comments. Studder11. He put this 2 minutes ago. I've serious issue with the fans. You say they pooped when they meant to. I say, shake my head. They were not booing for who was meant to be a heel. Only Baker Murphy got true brews, and Owen should have been hated on, but wasn't. Fans don't really buy into true storylines. As Owen said, Cena fans on NXT this week, I'm tired of doing not doing enough to make it more clear that they're heel or face throughout any of their products' placement. I can agree with that, but compared to NXT at the Full Sail University, I do feel this crowd was a lot more respectful. Like, at least I didn't like how they chanted Full Sail sucks at the beginning. I didn't write that down in my notes because I didn't want to go off on a negative rant. But they were more respectful than I really understand your comment. The wrestling business is in shambles. It really is. Just looking up and down, there's no baby faces and no heels. Everyone's a tweener. It's a bona fide clusterfuck 24/7. And the SummerSlam tomorrow, I mean, there's no heels, there's no baby faces. It's just who you want to cheer for. And I agree about the Kevin Owens comment. Again, it's a difficult topic. It's a topic that you could just go on all day for, about, certain people getting certain reactions. For instance, like you said, Blake and Murphy, they do get good heel heat. I felt that during Baron Corbin gets great heel heat, very good heel heat. Sasha Banks is just too good to get heel heat, in my opinion. But I agree with you. So, and Tyler Breeze doesn't get heel heat. So basically, what I think you're trying to get at is if you go to an event, you should cheer for the babyface and boo the heels. In that point, I agree with you. When I go to a wrestling show, I try to do that, but it's just when you're surrounded by 16,000 very, very smart fans, they pick who they want to win based on talent. It's not on what WWE gives you. They pick it on talent. It's very sad, and it's just something that not a lot of people care about. I, for one, I'm really offended by it. The Full Sail University crowd, that is. And I just hope you, Stud at 11, realize that I was comparing it to the Full Sail crowd. Like, I wasn't saying they were perfect. I mean, the Raw crowds usually are good. I'm a fan of the Raw crowds. Usually hope they're a bit louder. But I just felt they were a bit more respectful than usually are. And thanks for the comment, and I hope you enjoy the show. So we'll jump on to the next match. We have Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin. And the question heading into this one that everyone had on their mind was this going to be a good match? Could Samoa Joe drag a decent to semi-decent match out of this man, that's Baron Corbin? I wasn't really into it as such. There was some high points that I just want to point out. There was some nice action at the start with Joe going for the suicide dive and Baron Corbin hitting a forearm in midair. That was very nice. Corbin had got some great heel heat, as just commented on earlier. Corbin then, anything. The story being told was the Corbin was basically saying, anything you could do, I can do better. Basically, for instance, Joe applied a crossface and half crab, and then Corbin countered that with a heel hook. So it's basically anything you could do, I could do better. And then at one point, Corbin hit a super kick and Joe hit a step up enziguri. Anything you could do, I can do better. Joe then applied the Kajita clutch, and Corbin passes out. He did not tap, and that got the win. Obviously, I'm pretty surprised Joe got the win. I was really, really convinced. I said this on the War Room podcast that he is winning. There's no way Corbin is not winning, because they're going to do Corbin versus Baylor at the next TakeOver. But with this being said, it's booked well because at the same time, you didn't make Corbin look like a joke. The guy passed out. He didn't get beaten cleanly. He passed out. So from that point of view, it was good. But at the same time, it's kind of the 50-50 vintage Vince McMahon booking. They didn't want to enhance and they didn't want to damage one guy. So they kind of just went with Joe up the rankings and Corbin just up a bit. It was like a 2.25 star, a 2-star match. Probably the best Baron Corbin match that there's ever been. And, you look up and down the great classics that Baron Corbin's competed in against Steve Cutler, to name a few. Honestly, it was his first long match. He wasn't as bad as I thought he'll be. Let's just put it that way. But it was still an okay match. Was it worth a pay-per-view? And then we have the commentators plugging SummerSlam on the network. They go, this Sunday on the network. And you're sat there, you're thinking, the only way you can watch this show is on the network? You literally been saying all night, thank you for joining us on the WWE Network, yet you're plugging tomorrow's show, which is on the network. I don't know. I don't want to go off on a rant, and to stop that, I would like to thank I'm so sorry if I slaughtered your name. It's an English thing. We're really bad at names. Like, you think Dave Coco's bad at slaughtering names? You have nothing on me, honestly. Thanks to KocoSports for watching on Google Plus. That's KUAW. Either way, thank you very much for watching on Google Plus, and I hope you're enjoying it. It's just back to the point. I don't care. This is stupid. Like, just imagine any other company promoting their show, which is on their own network, which no one else can be on. They're promoting it. They're not doing it by, having a flash up saying SummerSlam tomorrow. They're going in detail about it. And I'm sat there thinking, oh my Jesus Lord, it's just bad. And then we have Stephanie come out. She says there's over 15,000 people in the building. And then she basically puts over the NXT women's division. That's it. Okay. Fucking bitch. What was the point? There was no point in that. Like, were you expecting a surprise pop for Stephanie McMahon? Like, no. And she did nothing. She was like, I'm going to come out and she generally said, I'm going to introduce the combatants for the co-main event. Firstly, there's no such thing as a co-main event. There's one main event. The match that is on last, that is the main event of the show. So get your facts right, you stupid whore, before you start disrespecting everything. Oh, this is the co-main event. No, it wasn't. And then she's like, I'm going to introduce it. It's Sasha Banks versus Bayley. And then a video package airs, and then she fucks off. So did she do the introduction? No. Just damn to God. And Sasha Bayley had a vintage entrance with all the hands and all the big blow-up gimmicks. I'm a big fan of that. And then Banks had a great entrance. She came out with personal security guards during her entrance, lifting her up to the ring, making sure she got to the ring okay. Really, really good. And we'll go to another live comments with one last comment before I break down the NXT Women's Championship match. We have James from Facebook. Won't give out second names. He put, do you think Kana will just job out to the Bellas, or will WWE give her the respect she deserves? I honestly don't know if she's definitely going to be there, as in like wrestling for WWE. But from what I've seen, I think they might not job her, because of the fact that she was with Ric Flair. She was stood with Ric Flair, and the commentators really put her over. Like, really, really did put her over. Shockingly, I wasn't expected them to be putting her over as much as they did. I was very shocked, in a good way. Like, in a very good way. I was kind of scared. I thought, oh shit, that's kind of, oh my God, oh my God, Byron Saxton, don't open your mouth. Keep your mouth shut, Byron Saxton. And he put her over. I was like, damn, give yourself a fucking, as Coco would say, Barry Horowitz. Honestly. And at the opening, Saxton's like, oh, this is Jushin Thunder Liger, 11-time IWGP heavyweight champion. I was like, fuck me. What the hell? What is this going on? Byron Saxton, where did you come from, my boy? Jesus Christ. Anyway, we'll get back to breaking down the match. Again, keep the comments rolling in. I'll read them out as the show progresses. They brawl from the get-go, obviously making this a more personal feel, which I'm a big fan of. The crowd are really electric. The main event, they were hot, but in my opinion, this is the hottest they've been all night. They were mega hot, and they were split 50-50. Again, who was it? Studder 11 earlier on wasn't a fan of this. not the match, the chanting, but I felt it produced a very, very good atmosphere. I mean, there was "Let's go Sasha, let's go Bayley" chants back and forth, and they were very, very loud. Sasha then hits she's Sasha Banks in the tree of woe, and Bayley hits a springboard elbow. Banks then hits a double knee stump with Bayley on the top. That was very good. There was so many spots in this that was just freaking incredible. Banks then hit a running flip over the top to the floor. "This is awesome" chant. Banks then hits a running springboard, but Bayley pushes her off the top, and she landed very, very, very hard on the floor. She really did. They exchanged some more strikes. Bayley then hits a suplex into the buckle, really buckling her up. Wasn't very nice. Banks then hit the bank statement, and as she is, basically the story for this match being told was Sasha Banks, in-ring psychology-wise, is working Bayley's hand. Like, that's the gimmick. Like, at one point, she put her hand in the stairs and she hit a running dropkick into the stairs. And then Bayley did a very, very good job selling. And when it comes to pro wrestling, in my opinion, when it comes to in-ring psychology, there's two things. One, you either do it working the body part so that they can't hit their finisher, or two, you do it because of an injury. They did it for the injury, which means the story can be told that, you know, she's going to overcome the injury that she's had and she's going to win the big one. That being said, if you do not sell that hand, there is no need for this in-ring psychology. Bayley did sell it, kind of. I cannot rave about it. I cannot put it over, but I cannot bury it. At some point, she did sell it very, very well, and at other points, she just forgot to sell it. But when it's your first time in a building with 16,000 damn people in, I let you off for forgetting in-ring psychology. Where are we there? Bayley then hits the bank statement again. As she was doing the bank statement, she was stamping on her hand, and Bayley is screaming. It really is a great visual and just great everything. It was literally, if Michael Cole was on this show, he'd be shouting, "It's thunderous inside the Izod Center." Oh, Jesus Christ! Honestly, Michael Cole is such a toilet. I'm actually, with that being said, I'm actually looking forward to hearing the guy commentate on the show tomorrow night on SummerSlam, because there's this guy, this jabron, Rich Brennan, every single time. This could be it. This could be it for the 3 count. If you listen to it, rewatch it again. Every single time there's a near fall, he said, "This could do it. This could be it." Bro, shut the fuck up, please. Damn it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Bayley then hits the Bayley to Betty for a near fall for 2. That's a very close near fall. That gets another "This is awesome" chant. Bayley then goes for a Hurricane Run off the top. Banks kind of holds on to the top, so Bayley just backflips. Bro, I thought she passed. I honestly, her head, boom, she basically brain busted herself. It was really, really bad. I was scared for her life, honestly. And then the crowd are going electric. And then in the best spot of the whole entire night, and in probably one of the best spots of the year, Bayley hits a reverse Rana or poison Rana, whatever the hell you want to call it, off the top rope, gets Sasha Banks back up, and hits the Bayley to Betty to get the win. My golly God, that was one of the hottest finishes I've seen, not only in a women's match, in a fucking wrestling match in general. Honestly, it was incredible. Honestly, the complete underdog story. Who hates that? It's impossible to hate the underdog storyline. It really, really is. I mean, the crowd were perfect for this. Shut up, you fucking toilets. Gee, it's 5:16 a.m. and people are shouting outside. Honestly, I guess it's Saturday night. Most people are out there getting absolutely drunk and out their face. I'm sat in here talking to a microphone. I guess, maybe they're the rights to tell me to shut up. I don't know. But I watched NXT TakeOver. They got drunk. Maybe they got drunk watching NXT TakeOver. You never know. Jesus Christ. What a waffle fest. I did enjoy the storytelling of Banks repeatedly. Basically, she got in her face, kept on saying, "You're a loser. You can't win the big one." That way, when she did win the big one, it really was that really good heartfelt moment. And then not only that was that a great match, you had Charlotte and Becky Lynch come out. They celebrate with Bayley, and then Banks, breaking kayfabe, gets in the ring. They're all pretty much crying. They all hug, and then they do the 4 horseman pose to each corner. And it was just a great moment. It was a very, very good match. Honestly, how you've probably listened to this and said, "What a stingy piece of shit" when it comes to the star ratings. That's probably what's going through your mind. This is 5 stars. I've done podcasts for nearly a year, literally nearly a year. I've given 2 5 stars. One when I reviewed Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles from January 4th Impact 2010. And this, I'm very, 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 very judgmental. I'm very, very harsh. I'm a very critical bastard. But when something is just so good, I'm literally sat there at the edge of my seat, stood up. When you're at home, you probably do this. When I'm sat here on my chair and I'm watching on my laptop, I got up on my chair. I gave a standing ovation. I probably look like the biggest moronic prune that there's ever been. Honestly, 5 stars. Go out of your way to watch it. If you're like, oh shit, it's SummerSlam. I'm at work. What am I going to do? Should I watch TakeOver? But I don't have enough time. Just please watch this match. You'll be better for it. And again, we'll go to some live comments. We have another comment from Stud at 11. He did this 1 minute ago. I get your point of view. It should not matter if it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I was ragging how the women hug after the match tonight was such a great effort by both Sasha and Bayley. Let them have the moment of hugging it out backstage in private. It blurs any storyline on Raw now. Can you buy into 3 teams of women on Raw after that? And Sasha's hard to hate. I agree on that, as she is one of the talented, and they have to buy it. Oh, dude, I'm really bad at live comments. This is why I don't do live comments. Damn it to God. On to Totally, I'd sooner boo on her, though, because I can enjoy talent and their ability to sell storylines and wrestle in the ring. It's not hard. People just want to anymore. I apologize. I slaughtered that live comments. It's just when I'm reading, I just read. Like, I don't put tone in my voice. I do apologize. I'll get better at that. You know, like I said, I haven't even been doing this for a year. I started in November last year, so for 7 months. I'll get better. I feel like I've progressed, and I'll just keep on progressing. And another comment from YouTube. This is Matteo Chevala. Slaughtered your name. I'm sorry. Women stole the show again. What a good feeling that was to see these 4 passionate girls. Yeah, it was a great moment. It really, really was a great moment. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. I was kind of worried that heading onto this, I give it 5 stars. And everyone else is like, oh, it was okay. So, because I only checked social media after the show, and by God, was it 9 out of 10, 10 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 out of 10. I was like, damn it to God. If you're right, how about this? If you haven't watched this show, and you don't know if you're going to or not, and you're based on what Twitter is saying, you're going to be miserable and depressed when you're watching this. This is the match of the night by far. That being said, it's not the best overall show of the year, in my opinion. And then we'll get on to the main event. We have a ladder match for the NXT Championship. We have Kevin Owens versus the champion Finn Balor. And they did a backstage walk-on with Kevin Owens, which I'm a huge, huge fan of. It gave it that real big fight feel. It gave it that championship, that main event feel. You know, it is the main event because it's on last. How about that, Stephanie McMahon, you dozy bitch? Jesus Christ. That's like, just imagine that. Like, you go to a wrestling show and you're like, yeah, this is your first of 2 main events. What? 2 main? What? Doesn't that destroy the point of having a main event? Like, come on, let's sort your shit out. Stop trying to come up with excuses. Like, this to me felt like we wanted to give the women the main event, but we're not going to give the women the main event. So how about this? If you're so obsessed with calling the women the main event, give them the main event, please. That match was better than this match. But if you follow my channel closely, you know I'm not a fan of hardcore wrestling unless it tells a good story. It's told a good story. It was a good match. We'll get down to it. Bayley does his vintage demon entrance, and it's money. This guy is money. If anyone thinks this guy is overrated, you need to look yourself in the mirror. This guy has it. There's very few people I dub it. He is it. Sasha Banks is it. That's it. That from NXT, I'd probably say that's about it. For it. It's just, you know, it's just the entrance. Just the entrance alone was worth the $9.99 for the network fee. It was that good. The crowd were absolutely electric the whole entire match. It was absolutely incredible. That, you know, it was an okay match. I mean, there were some nice spots. There was a few ladder spots that made me cringe. For instance, one point Baylor did a run off the announce table and hit a running dropkick onto Owens with the ladder, and then the ladder kind of fell on his leg very hard. You had Baylor scream in pain. That was pretty nasty. Baylor then hit a back body drop onto the side of a ladder, and Owens, my God, they're going to be sore today. When I mean today, I mean tomorrow for you if you're listening to this in America. But for me, it's today. He's going to be sore, and I hope it doesn't affect his match with Cesaro, because he took 2 big bumps, and one of them was a back body drop onto the side of it. Basically, the ladder was set up like that, so he had it like that, and Owens crashed in between both, so both sides of his body hit him. It was very painful. And another one was he was on top of a ladder. Baylor forearmed him several times, and he bumped off a ladder onto another ladder. It was painful. Hope everyone's okay. Owens hit the power bomb onto the apron. Then Owens hit 2 filthy super kicks. They were like Young Bucks style, and the crowd chanted Young Bucks. And with the, okay, but Matt Jackson on Twitter, I checked after this, like I said, the social media, and he put, "We do listen, thank you." So that's nice of them to tweet that. Baylor then knocks Owens off top again, as I've always said. Baylor then hits Dakota Gras off the top of the ladder to get the win. And some people, Jesus Christ, like I said, I scrolled down a few times. There were people complaining about, oh, it didn't look real. It looked like he missed him. Oh, dude. They were complaining about the slow-mo. That was it. It was the slow-mo. Oh, the slow-mo. It looks bad. No, look, how about this? He just jumped off not a 20-foot ladder, about a 10, 11-foot ladder for your entertainment, and you're bitching about the camera view? Seriously? You're complaining about a camera view? Oh, Jesus wept on that. That's your prerogative. That's just not me. I tend to go on Twitter. I post my shit. I leave it because I get very, very angry. I really am. And we'll go to another live comment before I really give my overall thoughts of that match. It's from YouTube again. It's Mateo Chavala. You'd be surprised about Twitter. I'm explaining right now. Still trending about 1 hour after the show. People loved the show, especially the Bayley/Banks match. Yeah, I agree. The Bayley-Banks match was very good, and I'm happy people are putting the match over. If you could comment again, are they still putting over the show as in it's 10 out of 10? It's one of the best wrestling shows of the year or ever. Like, what happens is, because wrestling fans are so conditioned to watching shit after shit, after more and more shit, they get an inch of goodness. They get a 5-star match. They're like, best show ever, best show ever. It's like, no, whoa, hold the brakes, hold the fort, please, Jesus. Baylor then gets the belt to win the match. It was a good ladder match. I just wasn't emotionally invested. Like, I just got up, gave a standing ovation to Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the title. Now I'm like, okay, that's it. Oh shit! And then they're like, they say it's the main event, and I'm like, whoa. There's 10 minutes left, and then Byron Saxton goes, it's our network, and guess what? It's not on pay-per-view, so we're gonna continue until it ends. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. It just doesn't that destroy the point of calling it a 2-hour special? Jesus Christ. Oh, I was worried at one point though. I will call a spade a spade. At 3:59, the show finished at 4 a.m. At 3:59, the match just started. So I'm like, oh my God, please don't cut off. Please don't do a WCW Halloween Havoc 98. Please don't. And they didn't. I was very, very thankful for that. And the match rolled on. It finished 20 minutes overtime, which they shouldn't really allow. But the women's match got longer, so that'll be all worth it. It was a good ladder match, like I said. There were some things I liked, some things I didn't. It's just the crowd, to me, weren't as hot as what they were for the NXT Women's title match, which is obviously, it's no shock. They've obviously sat through a 2.5-hour show plus the hour and a half that they got for the TV tapings for for Wednesday's show, sorry. So there really was a lot of wrestling they had to digest. I just wish they put the women's match as the main event. There was more storyline involvement. There was no story for this match. You're just guys bumping. There was no need for it. And, the women, there was the storyline. There was the underdog storyline. It was Bayley trying to get the championship after she's been trying. She lost to Charlotte. She got attacked by Becky Lynch. She lost to Sasha time after time. And now she finally won the big one. I cannot put this over enough. Honestly, just please, if you haven't watched it, please watch it. Unbelievable. I'm going to give this main event a 3 stars. It was a good match. It's just, to me, personally, every wrestling show should end with a one-on-one match, singles, for a championship. I don't care what belt it's for. Probably I'd want the main championship. Obviously, the NXT title being on the line. But I don't like ladder matches closing the show. I've never liked it. I never have and never will. That's why I'm a big fan of the SummerSlam. I used to be a fan of Over the Limit because we always got one-on-one. I'm not a fan of gimmick matches when there's no purpose. There was no reason for this. The way I see it, Owens was owed a rematch. Okay, that's fine. Owens is owed a rematch. And then he just says it's a ladder match. No. That will be the next feud. The feud ender should be the gimmick match, is what I'm trying to get at. Not any old match, and it just drives me insane. If this was a feud ender, if they've been feuding for several months, and it's really a hatred, I'd understand it. But they're not. It's like, I'm having a rematch. I'm taking the belt off you this Saturday at TakeOver. No, I'm retaining it. That's the storyline, and it's really bad. Whereas the Bayley Sasha Banks, there was storyline. It was one-on-one. It was singles. They busted their ass off, and it was very entertaining. And overall, as a show, it was one of them. It was a good show for wrestling content, but at the same time, there was some little things that really pissed me off, like the placement of matches, like Stephanie McMahon coming out for no particular reason, like the commentators plugging tomorrow's show to nauseum, the SummerSlam. They were just plugging. It's like, dude, we know everyone who owns the network is a hardcore wrestling fan. They know it's SummerSlam tomorrow. You don't have to keep on plugging it, for crying out loud. Honestly. And the Baron Corbin match was okay. It's like a 2-star match. You had the tag titles. I'm happy for the Vaudevillains to finally win the strap. I really am happy that they finally won the straps. It's just, there was no, at least with what I liked so much about the Baileys, I keep on saying, they kept on trying to get her to win the belt. And then when she finally won it, it's big. This is an itchy subject with some people, but I will not talk about this because it will be an own podcast. For instance, Chris Benoit winning the World Championship at WrestleMania 20. You had the story of Benoit can't win the big one. Since 2000, he couldn't win the World Championship. 2001, couldn't win the belt. 2002, came so close, couldn't. 2003, couldn't. 2004, finally won it. You had that 4 years of build to that one big moment of Benoit winning the World Championship. A lot of people hate Benoit. I see it in this way. Benoit, the wrestler, is absolutely amazing. One of the best technical wrestlers the world has ever produced. As a man, son of a bitch, piece of shit. Okay, that's the way I see it. And this show, could have helped with, the Vaudevillains. Give them maybe another year. I mean, how about you have the Vaudevillains lose here, and you have them keep on trying to win, so that when they do, the crowd will care 10 times more, because the crowd just didn't really care about the Vaudevillains winning. In all due respect to the Vaudevillains, the crowd weren't that hot for it. And overall, as a show, I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. It was still a very good wrestling show. There wasn't nothing, disastrous. There was no dud. There was no 1 star. Everything was respectable. It's just people will be hyping this too much. And that being said, I'll go to the live comments before I close the show. So we got another one. We have Matteo Chavala. You'd be surprised. Oh, it's exploding. There we go. So we got Rico from Facebook. Do you think SummerSlam can be better than NXT? That is a very, very good question. What I do like now is the idea that the Twitter world, like mentioned by, like Matteo said, it will be buzzing. People will be buzzing about the takeover. Vince might give them, some prerogative, like go out there. You guys are the main roster. They are the development. Show these marks. Who is the main roster? Who is the number 1 talent in the world? Go out there and bust your ass off like I know you can. If this was Paul Heyman instead of Vince McMahon, he could give one of his pep rallying speeches and the show would be amazing. I think the main event, if booked correctly, could be great. Rollins Cena will be good no matter what Dave said. I'm going to be emotionally invested in it because I don't want Cena to win. We've got what else we got? We got Ziggler Rusev, which is one of those I don't care about the match, but it's going to be a good match. Like this main event, that's pretty much what it is. You've also got Cesaro versus Owens. Hopefully Owens is okay after this, which is going to be great. I don't know. It depends on if there's a 5-star match in this SummerSlam. If there's a 5-star match on this SummerSlam card, I could see it beating it. There is more matches, which gives more opportunities to be better. If you get what I'm saying, it's just no matter how good or bad SummerSlam will be, in everyone's eyes, NXT will be better because that's what it's cool to think. Like that was one of my when you probably clicked on this podcast, you're probably expecting me to go, "This was the greatest show ever. This was the greatest show ever. Oh, NXT is amazing. NXT is amazing." No, I see this as, unless I'm reviewing Ring of Honor, I'm just a complete. I need to stop doing. I'm just a complete Ring of Honor mark. Like they can't do no wrong. I look at them and I don't pick favorites. I just critique it for what they put in front of me. It's not that great. People make it out to be the greatest wrestling product in the world. A, buy New Japan World. B, watch Ring of Honor. That's all I can say to you if you thought this was the best show of the year. And you're entitled to your opinion. I'm happy you have your opinion. That was a great question, actually, Rico from Facebook. Give yourself, as Dave would say, a Barry Horowitz. Very good question. With Matteo Chevalier, again, commenting on YouTube. Thank you very much. Owens asked for a ladder match because he didn't want GM William Regal to screw him with a referee. That was the story. Oh, okay. See, now that makes it a bit interesting. Okay, you've really bummed me there. You just destroyed my 2-minute rant. Matteo Chevalier, you can give yourself a Barry Horowitz. I'm going to take some teary eyes. It's just, right, come on. It's just, that's not really a need for a ladder match. Like, damn. That's bummed me now. I must have missed that. Oh, shit. How did I not see that? That's angered me now. So the reason why I hated the match was because I didn't see a backstage segment. Oh shit! Damn, that's really fucked me off. I do apologize now if this wasn't the fairest review. Damn, shit. Hey, look, I made a mistake. I own up to it. At least I'm not one of these son of a bitches. Then we got a special thanks to at the-jan-brower for tweeting and liking us on Twitter. Thank you very much. Give him a follow. And Rob from Facebook, is Coco not there because he is jerking to Kana? Oh, probably. You never know. There might be a special. The reason why, because he said he was creating several other podcasts at the start of this show. He might be creating a special wank podcast for you. So if you're interested in Dave Coco doing a wanking to Kana video, make sure you put that in the comment description below. Then we got another one from YouTube. We have Immortal Technique. He says, I thought it was a good show, but I felt like the main event needed some type of run-in, either from Sami Zayn or Hideo, even Cesaro. That would have made the main event great. Yeah, I agree. Maybe that's another reason why I just didn't enjoy it. It kind of ended. It just ended with Baylor on top of the ladder. There's no run-in. And I understand that, but then maybe we're just thinking that because of the last takeovers, we've seen it with Samoa Joe. And so maybe in our brains we're like, okay, who's going to come out? You see, maybe why. But a great question again, and it's been a great time here. I'm going to call it a day. It's 5:40 over here in England. I'm close to calling it a night. I can feel myself dozing off as we have. Hold. We have another live comments. You son of a bitch. LB Clash of Kings. I actually skipped NXT Takeover. Also, did E Marie be an abortion botch fest in the ring like we expected? No, Eva Marie was involved in the matches that were taped pre the takeover airing on the network, so we'll be able to see that this Wednesday. I think she's facing Carmella, and now Carmella is one of those, she's very good charismatic wise, but when it comes to her in-ring work, I don't think she's that great. Honestly, I really don't think she's that great, and people, I can understand why she's over because of who she's with, that being Maureen Cassidy. I just don't think she's that great in the ring, and I don't think Eva Marie is going to be that great in the ring either. So again, that's going to be one to watch to see how bad it will be. How many negative stars will it get? And that being said, this has been a great time on the podcast. Keep the comments coming. I will generally go out of my way and I will reply to every single one on the YouTube channel. Unless it's you calling me a son of a bitch, then I'll only give you a thumbs up, not a comment. That being said, it's been a pleasure chatting with you for over 40 minutes on the show. I wanted to go 20, but that's the KocoSports way. That being said, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch your asses down the line.